Ho, 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 Marlin here. Today we're decorating a Christmas tree cake and I'm so excited to be collaborating with my good friend Daniela. She decorated a bundt cake in a lovely little Christmas scene. She made little gingerbread houses, a tree. She's going to show you how to do all that. But first, my tutorial, and then I'll have the link to her video at the end of mine or in the description box. And now onto the step-by-step tutorial. I was on Amazon a little while ago and I saw they came out with a more kind of holiday version of the Russian ball tip. So today we're trying that out to decorate this pretty Christmas tree. For the ornaments, you'll find the info in the description box. I'm going to keep the decoration throughout pretty classic. And now I'm doing the top of the tree, a classic star. And I could have made a fatter piece of fondant, but I wanted all my decorations to kind of be consistent in look. So that's why I'm flooding this star. My icing is yellow, but I don't think it's necessary. I'm using Rolcom Gold and it's pretty opaque. Just going to let this heal and then we're going to paint it all in a shiny, nice gold. Here is the gold paint. This is Rolcom Gold. I'll have the link in the description box. I've put some vodka to get it liquid. Now for the airbrush gun, sometimes I'll pull the needle back should anything get clogged, because this is powder. Sometimes it'll clog and won't come out. So you just pull the needle back, it'll release that whatever's accumulated there, and so you'll be able to color your elements. Okay, so I'm pouring my gold into the airbrush gun. And here are the decorations for our Christmas tree. Now, I don't know if you saw my video. I previously uploaded a video for some toppers. I use them on cupcakes. So here we have Rudolph, a gingerbread man, stocking, Santa, snowflake, and a gift. You'll find the link to that in the description box. For today's project, I made the bell that I don't know if I'm going to use, but I just wanted to show you guys the stars, the actual star topper. And what else did we make today? Oh, the ornament and the little candy cane. Now let's look at how this is going to kind of fit on the cake pan. This will give us a great kind of gauge. I'm going to put the star at the top and we'll see how many we actually need. We don't want to overload the cake. And then I have actually real candy canes, which proportionately aren't horrible, but I don't know if I want to keep it really to the size of my my cake. How's that? Does the snowflake work? Should I just do the stockings? Oh, I like the gingerbread man. Here, let's do 4 there. We'll do 3 here. And then 2 on the top. So here, we're going to decorate the tree like that. And then we'll put maybe some little candies. It's kind of good to do a little test run to see how it's going to look. I wasn't sure if I should show this part, but I just wanted to show, first of all, that it happens to everyone. My cake broke in half. So let's just get it out of the pan. And you can see I used cake mix. And cake mix cakes are a lot more fragile than scratch cakes, and you can see here it snapped right down the middle, and we're just going to deal with it. We're not going to stress this, and we're going to fix it. Now I've gotten the bigger piece and I've added some icing here to the little corners since they're not level, and I'm going to put the cake about here like that, and I can give it a little press. And now I'm just going to add some glue to the middle here and just reattach this. And no one will know. Only the people who get that slice will know, and they'll think they're just getting more icing. And now again, I've added a bit of icing to this corner, and I'm going to press this back together. And you see, the crack is very visible right now, but once we add our icing, it will all be fine. So what I'm doing now is just adding a thin layer of icing, a crumb coat that will seal the crumbs into the cake. But I'm not going to add a lot of icing, since with my piping bag I anticipate adding quite a bit. And this will be a lot of icing, so I don't want to have too much icing. I put some of the green icing in a piping bag, and I'm just adding a little line underneath here just to seal the opening, and it'll give a bit of support under for that roundness. I didn't like cut the cake completely level there at the bottom because, and now I'm just going to finish crumb coating this. Like I say, a thin amount, we don't need a lot. And you can see the crack is completely gone now. All right, now I have the cake with my base layer of icing. I'm going to pop this in the refrigerator, and then we're going to finalize the cake. If you take it to this point for your party, let's say, well, imagine the fun if you were to just leave it like this, pull it out, and then all the decorations and everybody get to join in and decorate the cake before you eat it. I can guarantee you would make some happy campers, and it would just be so much fun. Everybody would enjoy it. Just a little kind of after dinner activity. If it's family time, you know, it doesn't have to be cookie decorating. We always hear about cookie decorating activities. Why not a cake activity? Okay, so I'm gonna pop this in the fridge, and then we'll be ready to finalize. Starting with the tree stump here, I'm just covering this in brown icing, obviously. So try to keep it to the stump area. So I'm going a little heavy-handed because I'm going to try to use an icing comb on here to see if I can get some lines in there. And I need some icing to be able to remove it. So you need a thick amount, or else when you drag the comb, you're just going to be ripping your cake up. All right. So it doesn't have to be terribly smooth since I'm taking most of the icing off. But let's see how this looks. I'm just pulling to the bottom like that, and now the top. I want to quickly just talk about loading the Russian piping tip into the piping bag. I've had comments from you guys that when you squeeze, the piping tip just pops right out. So if you cut over here, well, all that pressure is just with this much plastic to hold the piping tip in. You need to cut like here. So squeeze it in, and then take scissors and just mark the bag here, okay? And then when you push the tip back, you'll have that line that you made with your scissors, and then you can cut across. And then when you squeeze back, you see? Then you get a perfect fit, and the chances of this popping out are at least reduced because you have all this holding it in. Now I fold over the sides, and you see I can open it up and fill it. Now I darkened it, but it doesn't really show. I wanted it to be a bit darker. I did add quite a bit of gel, but it didn't seem to do too much. So anyway, don't overfill your bag. What happens is your hand does heat the icing, and if you get soft icing, well, it's just not gonna work. I'm going to start at the bottom of the cake, and let's look at the actual piping tip. You see the branch there, it's at the top, and I'm going to start here. So I'm going towards the top. I've never used this, is the first time. Let's see if we can actually film this. Interesting. Squeeze until it touches, and then pull. Again, kind of staggered. Now for the top of the cake, I want to hide the stump, and I'm working my way across here. So like that, and repeat that whole row. Kind of rotate the tip as you go so that the angle changes. And let's see if my icing is getting warm. I'm going to try to work my way up the side here. You see, this is what happens when the icing is a bit hot. It kind of like just makes a blob. There's no other description. I'm going to try to work my way up the cake here. Okay, now I'm trying to make sure that they line up kind of in between each other. While the green is in the fridge, I'm going to work on my garland here. And I'm just going to start down here at the corner right there and take it right here. So I'm doing a line that way, and it's a star tip, and I'm just doing a circular motion to create my garland. And I'm going to stop it there. Once my icing starts to crust, it will be that much harder for me to get my decorations on. So I'm just going to press them on now, because I don't want this to get all cracked and weird. There. I've got these gold sixlets I'm going to add to kind of fill the cake. And we'll do our next row of green. It's quite a dance with the icing, because if it's in the fridge too long, then you can't squeeze it out of the piping bag. So you have to really watch it. And try to work as quickly as you can to avoid the icing warming. In your hand. All right, I'm done. Wonderful. So let's finish the garland. I'm gonna take it here to there. I'm just going to go over here. There. Okay. I've got the garland on, all the icing is fresh on, so let's do the star. And then the little decorations. And if you feel you need more, then dig into your reserve. I'm going to get some for here. Let's see here, a gingerbread man. Maybe a candy cane over here. And Rudolph. Maybe I should have put Santa. I'm not in love with my... Here, we'll put him here, Santa. There. I don't love my Santa topper. And now, filling in with some gold sixlets. Drop them in the openings. And can't you see how this would be a fun... Obviously, you'd alter the icing, because if you're doing it as an activity, you don't want to have to be putting this in the fridge 50 times. But just get a regular piping tip. I think that's enough. Yeah. And maybe some sprinkles on the garland to jazz it up a bit. Is it already not sticking? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you see them falling off? It's really not long that the icing crusts and you can't get any decorations on. That's why I started decorating the bottom before it was completely finished, because I just didn't want to have my icing collapse. Now, I haven't put that many candies over here. It's up to you if you want to, if you want to really coat the cake. I find the top is plenty. And now be sure to go check out Haniela's beautiful cake project. You'll find the link to that in the description box. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future uploads, and I'll see you next time.